Hi everyone, it's Danny from orchidnature.com. Today we're gonna answer a question sent by Braytastic, and he's asking, how do Oncidiums actually grow if the pseudobulbs keep maturing all the time, or if they actually send out new pseudobulbs? Okay, so I will talk today about how they actually grow, their growth pattern, and how eventually you can get a very big specimen-sized plant. Now, as you can see, Oncidium orchids or intergenerics or anything that has a pseudobulb will continuously create newer and newer pseudobulbs as they grow. Each pseudobulb can create 2, maybe sometimes 3 new growths that will in turn transform into a pseudobulb just like this as they grow and as they mature. Now, once the pseudobulb is mature, it will not grow anymore, it will not transform into anything else. But what it will do actually is it will feed the other pseudobulbs that actually arose from it and their grandfathers, grandsons, and so on. So actually this will be a reservoir of nutrients and water and food for the orchid. Now I'm going to show you how some undeveloped pseudobulbs look like. So you see how they actually look like when they're not mature. This is an Oncidium intergeneric that has both mature pseudobulbs and also growing ones. Now this shoot right here is not mature, it's growing. If you want, it's a teenager. It started off just like this, and in a few months it got like this. Now in time, after about 9 months or maybe a year or maybe less depending on environment, it will reach maturity. It will look something like this, at which point it will start to send out flower spikes if you're lucky and if you treated it correctly. And so this is how a new shoot would look like, and eventually it will end up like that. Once it ends up like that, it will flower. It will not grow anymore, but it will start to produce a shoot of its own, just like the case of this Oncidium. Now, I was telling you that each pseudobulb can create up to 3, maybe more, I don't know, new shoots and new pseudobulbs. Of course, genetics plays an important role in this. Maybe some Oncidiums will not produce more than 1 or more than 2, but there are some Oncidiums that do produce a lot of new shoots, and this is one of them. This is actually a small Oncidium orchid, which produces tiny little flowers. I just noticed that the smaller an Oncidium is, the more pseudobulbs it creates, and yeah, the bigger pseudobulbs, they only create 1 or 2 new pseudobulbs. Now you will need some time to get your Oncidium to be this bushy, probably a few years. Also, it depends on genetics, as I told you. But you can actually obtain something like this if you don't divide your orchid. If the orchid still fits in the pot and if it's healthy and not dehydrated, you can repot it in the same sized pot. If the roots, of course, stay okay in the pot, they're snug, but they're not too crowded. And of course, if the pseudobulbs don't start to grow outside of the pot. So yeah, you can keep it like this, you can let it grow. If it gets too big, you can repot it in a bigger sized pot. So not dividing it, but keeping it hydrated, be very careful with that, can actually lead to a full-size specimen plant, just like this. And the bonus is that the more pseudobulbs it has, the more flower spikes. This is not actually the best example, but I do have one of these with 6 or 7 flower spikes, so that's a good show. Alrighty, hopefully I've answered your questions. This is how Oncidium orchids grow. They produce new shoots. It takes a few months, up to a year, for them to mature. They flower and then they start to grow all over again. It's not a good idea to remove the old pseudobulbs. If they get rotten or dry, you can remove them. But other than that, leave them. They will just feed their grandsons, if you want to call them like that. Okay, thank you for sending in the question. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave me a comment and I'll try to explain and make a video for you guys. Also, if you want to get in touch with us and yeah, have more goodies related to orchids, you can visit orchidnature.com and yeah, you'll find us there. Okay, so if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next time. Bye!